Our modern society has changed so much throughout every aspect of our lives that even school, the place that created writing in the first place, isn't the best way to become a writer today. Let's consider the fact that everyone is using AI. Let's also consider the fact that everyone is distracted by social media. While these may be huge and gigantic claims, in truth, we see this in everyday life. And to be a writer, you can't use the pen and paper formula you once did before. So how do we discuss this topic? How do we get better at our craft if our own education system is failing? This is where I come in. I'm here to guide you on the path of reading and writing, to tell you the truth about why our modern society has changed for the worst and how this time and how this period of our lifetime is more crucial to writing now more than ever before. Hello, if you don't know me, my name is Arnel Arcega. I'm one of the healthiest authors and writers on this platform. As such, I educate people on how to read and write so that they can not only improve their language, but also become better writers and storytellers in the long run. If you want personal help to write your own stories, whether fictional or non-fictional, check out my Instagram down the link in the description, as well as my books down there as well. For now, let's get into the topic of modern school systems and how it creates the worst kinds of writers, but also a solution to the craft that not only satisfies the school system, but everyone who wants to write in the first place. I have been an avid writer for as long as I can remember, up to middle school years in which I actually took writing seriously. I realized that this craft I've been doing all of my life is something that can be fun and explored upon. And while it may not be the most interesting path, to tell you the truth, I find writing one of the best things out there. And this is because of schools. I want to give my flowers to school because I do firmly believe that even with how corrupted the education system is now, it made me the writer I am because of all the amazing English teachers I've had over the years. So I want to shout them out before I get into the real problem of today's video. Modern schools in particular are the reasons why horrible writers exist. It makes sense. We look at the social media, the people distracted, we see the rise of AI, and this problem is so huge that I felt the need to share it in this video. When we think about schoolwork, whether you are or aren't in the education system, you know with absolute certainty that there are people using ChatGPT and other AI metrics to get across. And believe me, I'm not one of those people who do their whole work by itself. I occasionally use AI, especially in math, to save time and to save energy. But my problems with AI comes in writing. Writing is by far one of the 4 crucial points of the education system, and in my humble opinion, the single most important thing we need in the world today. The idea of being able to read and write is huge. If we aren't able to understand the words I am saying or saying to anyone out there in the world, then how the hell will we get things done? That is why I value reading and writing in terms of the education system. Even with its flaws, I believe schools make for great writers. But the problem nowadays is the fact that schools aren't doing this. We have AI bots teaching how to write. And while there still are amazing teachers out there, shout out my English teacher, Dr. Scarborough, there are many problems with our modern society that dictate the use of AI, ChatGPT, and other sources. Earlier in the week, before my winter break, I saw an ad about Grammarly, talking about how hard it is to write a book. So it was promoting its own AI use to become better and more efficient. And when I watched the full ad, I was hooked for a split second, only to realize that when looking at the writing, it was offering the same techniques that often ChatGPT does. It has the same if, then, and when sort of sentence structures, and with how convoluted yet overly detailed it can be, the problem becomes that we aren't creating our own work. I often suggest that in our own writing, we want to share it from the heart, not just from the mind, but the soul. It's all about just sharing out ideas that we are passionate about. And while school doesn't offer this the best it can, in our own day-to-day lives, schools aren't teaching writers. They were making for the worst kinds of situations because of that elusive schoolwork, how that is going to be used. And with how this is impacting the youth, it makes those younger kids feel that impact. Before quarantine, before the creation of ChatGPT, we were all supposed to write things. I started using a computer around middle school, but in those elementary school days, it was all handwritten. We had to physically read books. We had to physically write down sentences. But from my own experience, listening to my own siblings as well as cousins, I've learned that the school education system is focusing less on that and more on technology. It is important, to say the least. Technology is what's running the world. But to tell you the truth, this is terrifying me that even people younger than me are forced to use computers and not handwrite things. It's not teaching them how to learn and be more literate, but instead it's making them more accessible to the problems of online spaces. Likewise, we have social media, but also an increase of AI. It's promoted everywhere whenever I'm trying to research more about writing and to get better. All the Grammarly ads, all the ChatGPT ads, everything about becoming a better writer, you have to supposedly use AI to become stronger. In some cases, yes, creativity can come in the weirdest and most strange places, but that motivation and drive to make you more disciplined, it's a unique process. I find it hard to believe that there are moments in our life in which we shouldn't use AI, but in most cases, especially writing, you have to be able to write it yourself. I hate coming across articles in which I'm researching this topic and all of it is just written by AI. All of it is just written by these fake writers that don't exist. And that's the problem with modern schools. I never had this problem growing up, but for the future generation, the desire for writing becomes less and less. And to tell you the truth, I'm scared of what this can be, what this platform can be in the future. But that's what my job is. I want to write, and I want to become more creative and stronger as a writer. I do this alone in my free time, but also use the problems of modern schools to make myself a stronger writer. Creativity comes from all kinds of places, and know for a fact that AI is what's running schools. We are taught to use AI for creativity, and we are taught to use it for stronger foundations. That said, we also know that schools in of itself aren't as useful as it once was. Yes, people are becoming dumber, and many advocate for the push towards school. But would that solve all the problems we see today? No. We already know for a fact that people are dropping out of school because of how useless it can be. And that same problem comes when we look at the online space here. It's one thing to say that people are becoming dumber. It's another thing to say that schools are the only solution to this matter. So as a writer, which I picture you here, how do we solve this problem? How do we make modern schools stronger for writing without getting rid of schools entirely? Well, to simply put, use school's weaknesses to your advantage. In my own day-to-day life in school, I have a lot more periods in which I don't have anything going on, which is perfectly fine. To say the least, I'm glad I'm not that 4.0 student I once was earlier in the year. I feel a lot happier and things have changed since my 4.0 video all the way back in March. I've been using my time less on schoolwork that matters and instead on writing that will grow me. Writing such as understanding myself more, as well as writing in my own book, whether it's typing my thoughts away or journaling in notebooks like this one. I've used the story The Right to Write by Julia Cameron, and it's been one of the most important books I've read this entire year. To be able to grow as a writer, to do these writing habits, yes, essays matter, and even those minor schoolwork that involves writing paragraphs also matter. It's all about how you use modern school's weakness to your advantage. And as a writer, you are creative and sharp. You have the ability to tell stories from all kinds of places. That's why I love writing. It's one of the most freedom-feeling acts you can ever do. And to become a better writer, you have to be a stronger creator. You have to gain information from all kinds of places, even in things such as modern schools. I wouldn't suggest the use of AI, but seeing those experiences from others generate inspiration. It's all about proving to yourself that you can get up in this field. And the ability to write your own stories, whether real or not, is a beautiful time. I would highly suggest spend your free time to become more credible as a writer. As modern schools have less and less to do with writing and more about teaching you stuff that you will not take into your future, as writers and creators, we have to be able to be stronger. And to say the least, I'm here to help you. I'm here to teach you how to become better writers through stronger uses of grammar, sentence structures, and everything in between. I'm not here to give you the meaningless stuff of AI generation, but instead allowing you to use your own voice, to build upon ideas and to create the best stories you can, whether as an art form, as a business, as a way to get better in the field you want. I'm here to teach you to be a better writer. Writing is universal, and if schools are not teaching us the best way we can become writers, then it becomes more horrid and more dreadful. Use your time now to be a better writer, and use this video as a platform to not only become stronger as writers, but also use it to fuel your own creativity. You already know what it's like to find the difference between AI writing and real writing. Follow your intuition as a writer and continue to improve on the little details that you need. Check out my other videos if you want more detailed and personal help in your writing. Along with that, check out my Instagram so I can personally help you write your own book. I am Arnel Arcega, and until next time, keep on reading, keep on writing, and take care.